And by the way, my son Hunter and daughter-in-law are here. And by the way, my son Hunter and daughter-in-law are here.
We got to take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously.
Well, how do you feel,
This is a serious matter.
Yeah.
To introduce your Commander-in-Chief, my husband, Joe Biden.
Now I'm going to turn it over to the boss.
Thanks, Joe. Joe, you're great too. So, sharing this evening with you has really...
And she still hangs out with me.
That more than 5 million barrels of oil that were released from the emergency oil reserves were exported to Europe and Asia last month, and some of it reportedly was actually heading to China. Is the administration aware of those reports? Does the president mind that some of this oil that was meant to ease pain for consumers is headed overseas?
I have not seen that report, so I would honestly have to go look into it and see what the truth is in that.
I asked on Tuesday about the releases from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Were there any conversations before that release about making certain that oil day stayed domestic? I mean, was the administration aware that some of that oil could end up going overseas?
You should ask the oil companies about where they are sending the oil they purchase and why. That is not something that we can answer from here.
You hear people talking about a recession coming. Bring it on.
Why do you think it is that 88% of people in this country polled by Monmouth think the country is on the wrong track?
The president understands what the American people are going through. He understands that gas prices are high because of Putin's tax hike, and also the food insecurity, the food cost has skyrocketed, and that's why the president has done everything that he can to blunt those high prices. We're doing everything that we can. We have a plan. Here's the thing. We have a plan. Republicans do not have a plan. What they want to do is take away rights from the American people.
But do you think it's possible that your plan just is not popular with the American people right now?
I don't think it's that our plan is not popular with the American people. We know that the American people are feeling the high cost. We understand what they are feeling. Because when you look at inflation, when we look at where we are economically, and we are stronger economically than we have been, but we understand that gas prices are high, and we understand that food costs are high.
Megan is one of the most accomplished soccer players and the first soccer player to receive the Medal of Freedom. Beyond the World Cup titles and Olympic medals, Megan is a champion for essential American truth.
Why is there a voicemail of the president talking to his son about his overseas business dealings if the president has said he's never spoken to his son about his overseas business dealings?
Well, first I'll say that what the president said stands. So if that's what the president said, that is what stands. And
he's leaving a voicemail about a New York Times article concerning Hunter Biden's business dealings, and he says, I think you're clear. How is that not him talking to his son about his overseas business dealings?
We're not, from this podium, I am not going to talk about alleged materials from the laptop.
So are you disputing that the president's voice on the voicemail?
I am not going to talk about alleged materials on the laptop.
Are
it's
you
not
disputing
happening
then that it is not?
Peter, I refer you to his son.
Hey, pal, it's Dad. It's 8:15 on Wednesday night. If you get a chance, give me a call. Nothing urgent. Just want to talk to you. I thought the article, at least the thing online, it's going to be printed tomorrow in the Times, was good. I think it's clear. And anyway, if you get a chance, give me a call. I love you.
We have all heard it. The president likes to say, I will always level with you. He says it again and again. Moments ago, though, you seemed to dismiss Peter's question about his conversation with his son, Hunter Biden, with regards to his business dealings. And I'm wondering, how is that silence consistent with the president's promise to always level with the American public? Because, in public, he says he hasn't discussed these business dealings. And then, at least according to the voicemail that's been obtained by the Daily Mail and the Washington Examiner, it certainly seems like he was seeking to do exactly that, have a conversation about these business dealings. Is he leveling with the American public on this?
Phil, I hear your question, but what I can tell you from here, standing at this podium, is that I cannot comment on any materials from the lab.
There's video of the French president running up to President Biden, relaying a message saying that the Saudis are about at capacity through the UAE. Did President Biden ask the French to ask the Saudis to pump more oil through the UAE?
I did not hear this conversation, so I can't speak to that conversation.
The Saudis can increase a little bit, but 150 or a little bit more, and they don't have huge capacities. And this before 6 months time. The last one.
In many ways, the president's rhetoric today was almost declaring war on the court, are kind of unusual for a president who's an institutionalist when you're talking about a co-equal branch of government. Is it the president's view that the court is not apolitical any longer? Is it his view that it is, in fact, motivated by politics?
What he believes was unconstitutional and spoke to this morning and also prior is their decision. He believes the decision that this court has made is extreme, and it is beyond the pale. What else? Extreme Republicans that he has called the ultra MAGA of the Republican wing is planning to do.
His view that the court is now a politicized body and not an independent judicial panel.
Well, he believes that this was done by royal political power. You heard him say that today, that this decision was not a constitutional decision. It was beyond extreme.
Governor Abbott in Texas issued an executive order today calling on the National Guard and officials there to apprehend undocumented immigrants. So I'm wondering if the administration is planning any legal response and if you'll prohibit the National Guard from participating.
So I'll say this, the immigration enforcement is a federal authority and states should not be mandating it, meddling in it. That is just, especially the Texas Governor of Abbott, who has a track record of causing chaos and confusion at the border.
Why do you think so many members of your own party, elected leaders, voters, activists, pundits, why do they all seem to, in this moment, disagree with that assessment?
Well, I can't speak for them. I can only speak to what we're trying to do. I can only speak to. Again, I'm not going to speak for them. I would go directly to these folks, these activists, and our Democratic colleagues, and speak to them directly. And I'm sure they will give you a very clear response on why they feel that way.